All right. Kick back and relax. Connect me to your car, place your headphones in, set your phone down. As you cook, continue to work out, whatever it is you are doing at the moment. Why? Because this is an audio podcast. This is your host, B. Welcome to the Reawaken Podcast. Check out the description box for more information on the Reawaken Podcast. Listen, today's audio podcast is my thoughts on President Donald Trump. I am not the type of person who is into politics, but whenever your girl sees something that interests me, I will begin to look more into it. I am not a Republican, nor am I a Democrat. Let me repeat that again for the people in the back. I am not a Republican or a Democrat, nor do I vote. Don't judge me because I don't complain about nothing in this world. I have my opinion, right? I have a perception. But most importantly, I keep my trust in the Lord Jesus Christ. Many people that's in power and high positions don't like Trump, right? And many people who just regular people like me and you who just work and live in this world may not like President Donald Trump, and that's cool with me. They have their own reasons why they don't like President Trump. Me? Well, I don't care to like or dislike him. I look at the facts. Why? Because facts are evidence that are proven to be true. Let's talk about some of the changes or soon to be changes that President Donald Trump has or will be making in United States of America. At the end of this video, I will give you more of my thoughts on President Donald Trump. And not just that, but I'm also going to give you my thoughts on these changes that he had made or will soon to make as well. Let's start with change number one, the tax cut. Tax cuts are reduced for corporations and individuals. No federal taxes on tips, overtime, and car loan interest. A multi-year debt limit increase will be taking place as well. This multi-year debt limit increase, I want to tell you what that means. It allows the U.S. government to continue borrowing money to cover its existing obligations, which means there will be a limit in increasing of money, how much the government can borrow to take money from the treasurer for different obligations. Some of these obligations can be the Section 8 Hub Housing Authority. Some of these obligations can be welfare, SNAP benefits, cash benefits. Any of these, some of these government fundings can be jobs such as police officers and crossing guards for schools. They are having a limit of money for multiple years. That's why it's called multi-year debt limit increase. It will be a cap, but so much that they are allowed to borrow. So yes, that can hinder a lot of people who are government workers and also people that are on some of these benefits, such as some of the ones that I just named, that the government had issued out in United States of America to help everyday workers or non-workers, right? Such as you and I. All right, let's get into it. Some extensions of 2017 tax bill. So some of the 2017 tax bill from the last president, President Donald Trump is willing to keep, and some of them he is willing to not keep, but replace. Trade policies, tariffs on import goods from certain countries to protect America will be taking place. And a lot of us know that the tariffs are right now, last time I checked, if they still there, from China, 150% increase on tariffs concerning China for people who are using China to get things made. And no matter if you are a small business or a huge business, the tariffs is 150% increase that President Donald Trump had made. And if I'm not mistaken, is another country that he placed a 50% tariffs on. This is not every country, but there's certain countries he is doing this with. Let me see what country that is for the 50% increase in tariffs that he just did about a week ago. All right, if I'm not mistaken, that country is Europe. He placed a 50% increased tariffs on immigration. He is strengthening the border security, including building a wall along the U.S.-Mexican border to stop people from sneaking into the country illegally. DEIs, and I want to be clear, people, right, men and women. At the end of me explaining these changes that are or will be soon coming to United States of America, I'm going to give my thoughts once again on these changes. And not only that, I'm going to give you my thoughts on President Donald Trump. I just want to give out some of these changes. I also have a video clip that I want you to listen to straight from Donald Trump's mouth. So let's get back into it. DEI, right? To end DEI, he wants to end the DEI program, and Trump placed emphasis on diversity. The LGBTQ community not able to serve in the military. He don't want them to be able to serve in the military. And there's also, well, I should say I am aware that there's been talks from President Donald Trump about transgender changes, such as their names will no longer, they won't be able to change their name no more. So if you are born a male and you have transition into a woman and you want to change your name to a woman's name to fit the new identity that you have took on, that will be illegal. I don't know if he made that illegal as of now, but I know there was talks about that. You must identify with the name that was given to you at birth. That's what he's speaking on. And last thing that I also knew that was happening that will be taking place is schools. Right now, schools, they wanted to bring in talks of LGBTQ, the community, into schools to bring more awareness to that community. And they are, last thing I knew, Donald Trump was not in agreement with that. And of course, there's more changes to come that he was talking about. But these are some of the changes that I thought that will be, as all of them are equally insightful, that we need to have more insight on and discuss and have discussions around it. But these are some of the ones that I know that were trending and that the people did not like or did like. So I thought I should bring it on the Reawaken Podcast, right? So now let's get into my thoughts on these changes. And of course, President Donald Trump. We're going to start with the changes first, my thoughts on those. And once again, I have a clip that I want to insert on that is going viral concerning Diddy. Concerning Diddy, Donald Trump wanting to release Diddy from prison. I want to discuss that as well. So let's talk about these changes real quick. Now, first and foremost, I want to be clear. I do not vote. I am not a big fan of voting. I haven't voted in years. I place all my trust in the Lord. Not that if you vote, you don't place your trust in your God or the same God that we may serve, which is Jesus Christ I serve. The Lord leads me to vote, then I will vote. But other than that, I don't. Nor do I complain about the ways of this world. I try to not have fear take captive over me either. So I just want to be clear on some of them things. I'm not a Republican, nor am I a Democrat. Do I like President Donald Trump? I don't know the man to like him. So I don't have a like or dislike about this topic that I am sharing. This is just coming from facts. This is just coming from, let's just call a thing, the truth, right? Being aware, being woken on these matters that is taking place in the United States. This is where this is just all coming from. Amen. And my discernment as well. All right. So let's start with the tax cuts. I think that is brilliant. Why? Because these tax reductions for corporations and they are for individuals. There will be no federal taxes. It will also be no taxes on tips for people who is in waitress, which I think is bizarre because they already don't even make the minimum wage at as a waitress, but they constantly getting their tips taxed as well. So I think this is very beneficial. Also, no taxes on overtime and car loan interest. I think this is all smart and all brilliant concerning these tax cuts. He is trying to do tax cuts for corporations and for individuals, and I think this is really, really smart. This was a great deal. Next, we're talking about the multi-year debt limit increase, meaning, like I said before, there will be a limit over the years. That's why it's called multi-year. There will be a limit over the years that the government will be able to take money and be able to pay their debts off. But what are the government debts? Anything that is tied to them, such as government jobs, right? Such as if you probably paying crossing guards, right? Such as what else? SNAP benefits and Social Security benefits, and all of those things are government issues, right? Those will be considered a debts, money that they have to issue out for these organizations to help the American people. This is a good thing and a bad thing. Now, hear me out. I'm gonna start with the good. This is a good thing because, number one, it can help motivate people to become their best self and try different interests and different things, such as gifts that are lying dormant inside them because they don't know what they are or they're not using them. It will help people to not be lazy, to step into their better self, to go higher, because there's a cap on what the government will give them. It won't be as high as it used to be concerning some of the programs as SNAP benefits and Social Security and SSI for people that may lie sometimes to be on SSI, right? So it helps people to be their best self. That's number one in a good area. The reason why this can be a bad thing, because if there's a limit, right, they haven't had discussions on what that limit is. We don't know if that limit is low, whereas though now they are not meeting the American people's standards, who is definitely in need of some of these programs, is what I'm trying to say. So this is a good thing and a bad thing, far as though this multi-year debt limit increase for these debts. And it's also a bad thing because what about the government jobs, right? The people that works for the government and do some of these jobs that you and I need these services for. What about their raises? What about their health benefits? Because there's a limit now. There's a limit. So that's what I'm concerned about. But it is a good thing and there is a bad thing to that. It's hard to meet everybody's needs. Now let's get into the trade policies. And like I said, you're going to hear my thoughts on President Donald Trump overall at the end of this. So stay tuned. And I have a clip that I want to insert. Let's talk about the trade policies, which is the tariffs, right? The imports, the tariffs, the imports, the goods for certain countries. Now, some of y'all may disagree with me. That's okay. We agree to disagree. But what I want you to do is you put it in the comment section. Just put it in the comment section, your thoughts, if you agree or disagree. I think this is brilliant. I think this is a brilliant idea. I know that it's going to be small businesses affected by this huge change. But see, I think the American people need to sometimes look at the long term. When we are so focused and fixated on short term, how could we ever grow? Now, hear me for a minute. I'm going to get back into this. Hear me out for a minute. In order to grow, in order to fix something, you got to go into the future. You got to think long term. You got to have hindsight. Come up higher and look far. And if you're not able to do that, then you're not able to go far. What I believe President Donald Trump is doing is that he is in the future. He's trying to fix the future. And sometimes the right now is going to take a hit in order to fix the future. Now, I'm not saying America is going to be great again, as that is his slogan. I'm not saying that by any chance. But what I am saying, men and women, is that President Donald Trump is going somewhere with this. I have a topic coming up soon that's called, and I want you to check that out if you definitely listening to this video. That is called New Direction in America. America is going in a new direction. And I see it. I foresee what is going on. I really do. And I think the people need to jump on board. I think it's because there's a lot of blockage going on because people are scared and changes are taking place. And we're going to take a hit right now that they can't see what is about to take place in the future. Now, hear me out. With this tariffs are taking place, the small businesses are taking hits as of now, but that's okay. In order to take a great leap, we got to take a setback. We have to, the setback is so that you can leap farther and higher in life. This tariffs that is taking place is brilliant because now America is able to buy, trade, and sell and create in its own land. Now he's partnering up with other businesses as well. Meaning, not businesses, excuse me. He's partnering up with other countries to jump on board of what he is doing here in America. This is to protect America. America been getting everything created and made in other countries. If we continue to do that and not build in the land here for a bigger and better future like other countries is doing there, we're going to be behind people. And if America is behind, then we will not be able to be in charge of our country anymore. People will want to take over. They see a weak link and want to capture it. And I believe Donald Trump is trying to stop that from happening. He wants America to continue to be the boss that it is, if that makes any sense. So we're going to take a hit in the right now, but in the long run, your hit won't be a hit. You'll be leaping and thrusting higher. New businesses can come from this tariff taking place in America. I have a video, a podcast coming out about, listen, new direction in America. Listen, you got to check that out. So I think everybody needs to not be scared. Everybody needs to not be worried. Everybody needs to have foresight on what is happening right now. Use your discernment on what is taking place right now. The Lord gave us all discernment. He gave us discernment. If you lack discernment, ask him and he will generously give to you. All right. Immigration, which I think is another smart one. It is too many people who is not from United States of America who is coming here illegally. We can't even get into Mexico illegally. We can't even get in Africa illegally. We can't even get into Australia illegally. They not having it. I think it's time that United States of America stand up with their chest out and put their foot down on people coming here illegally. Other countries wouldn't dare have us do it. We shouldn't have people coming here illegally. Coming to a country illegally is wrong. You need to take the proper measures. We're talking about health being involved. We don't know what kind of diseases people are coming in with. And the same if we was to go to their countries illegally. The culture. My problem is United States of America don't have a sturdy foundation of a culture like other countries do. And when people come here illegally, not only that is health risks involved and they didn't take the proper measures that other people came here the correct way, legally, they came here legally the correct way did. It's just unfair. And when these people do come here illegally, they don't adapt to the culture. They think that they can be what they once were there. Okay, let me give an example before I piss someone off. Listen, men and women, if I was You know what? Let's dumb it down all the way. If I was from the hood, from a low poverty area, and I moved to a middle class area, and that middle class area, they normally keep the area and their neighborhood clean, and they don't litter, and they don't leave dog feces around when they walking their dogs. But in the low poverty area, that's what they do. They throw it when they done with they meals or they drink. They throw it down on the ground, and when they walk their dogs, the dogs leaves the feces and they don't clean up after their dog. And I take those qualities to the middle class area. How you think they would feel about that? That's not what they do around there. I have a responsibility to adapt to the area that I choose to live there. I didn't get forced there. I choose to live there. There's a difference. When people are choosing to come into the United States, they need to adapt to the culture. The problem with me is that United States haven't built a firm, sturdy culture background. And so therefore people come any your kind of way, legally or illegally. I think it is smart that he is building this border on the U.S. Mexico border to stop people coming in illegally. It's not fair to the way people are coming in, right? It's not fair that it's not fair to being keeping track of health risks. We don't know what kind of diseases, infections people are coming with. The same way we was to go to their country. We don't know what they don't know what we're coming with when we are coming to their country. When we go visit other countries, we got to get shots. Some countries, you have to get shots to even visit them. So coming into the United States illegally, I think is wrong, and something needs to be done about it. It's not right to the population count. It's not right to the American tax dollars. It's just all wrong. And something needs to be done about it. So I do agree with that. Now, the DEI, he's putting the end to the DEI program. The DEI program, is definitely for so that African Americans have the fair opportunity to get in a job, in a position that any other culture, right, any other race will be able to. What is also a fair opportunity for people who are disabled to have a job. It's also fair opportunity so that people who has a criminal background will be able to have a job as well. It's given equal quality to everyone. And the reason why this program was formed, right? Not just so it could be equal quality, but we're talking about, these companies who hire people who on SNAP benefits, because that's a part of it too. People who is African American, people who are disabled, things of the sort like that. They hire these people. You're not saying that they are too low and beneath you that they can't get a job at your company. They also get a tax write-off. These companies get tax write-offs for each one of these individuals from the DEI program. Donald Trump is removing the DEI program, and he's saying he wants equal diversity, equality for anybody to have a job. I think the DEI program being removed, it won't be equal quality. It won't be diversity. It won't be, because now the companies are no longer receiving anything from it. When I mean what they were all receiving, what these companies are receiving is a tax write-off. They get the write-off people who are being hired for their company who has SNAP benefits. They get the write-off the people who are hired at their program, at their job. For their company who is came from a work program, such as if you are unemployed, the unemployed office usually place you in a work program because you're unemployed when you're receiving unemployment. So when you are hired from an unemployment program due to being unemployed because you're receiving unemployment, that's considered a DEI move. And they get a tax write-off for that. So it's not just about African Americans, but it's also about disabled people. It's also about the SNAPs benefit people and Social Security people, right? That receive these benefits and they are working. It's also about people who has a criminal background and applying for jobs. This is what this program do. Is a protection for them to be able to have equality, to be able to find a job and not be looked at as you can't do it, you're beneath me, and judged. So when the DEI is removed, I do fear, let's take fear out the equation. I strongly believe it's going to be harder for people of the sort that I just named to find a job, because these companies are no longer receiving a benefit for it. But all things work together for the glory of the Lord. I have another video that I will be putting out. Get into entrepreneurship now. That will be coming out soon. I think you guys should listen to that, because I'm going to be breaking things down. America is going in a new direction, and I don't think the American people can discern that. And the Reawaken Podcast is definitely going to reawake you on some new events that is taking place. I think people need to be reawakened. All right, let's get into the LGBTQ part. He was stating that he don't want the LGBTQ community to be able to serve in the military. Well, over here on the Reawaken Podcast, I do not judge anyone who is in the LGBTQ community, because nobody is perfect. What they believe in is what they believe in. What people are fighting is what people are fighting. What people want to do is what people want to do. I don't judge that. Can't. But I do not agree with same-sex marriages, dating the same sex. I do not agree with changing your gender. I just think it's not a healthy thing to do at all. It is stopping from us reproducing. If everybody's turning around and dating the same sex, I think it can be an extreme health problem later on down the line if you changing your gender. I just think these things aren't safe. Not only do I think they are sinful, but I don't think they are safe. But that's just my opinion. If you disagree with me, put it in the comment section below. That's what we do here on the Reawaken Podcast. Place your comments below. Place them there. But he is stopping people that's in the LGBTQ community from participating in the military. I don't see anything wrong with that. The reason why I don't see anything wrong with that is because, number one, if you are a transgender, due to taking hormones, right? There we go. Due to taking hormones, I don't think that people will be able to effectively perform in the military correctly. This is just my opinion. Due to taking these different types of pills due to your sex change. That's number one for me. I think it can be a health risk. That's number one for me. Number two, I don't think it's to be right, because a lot of the times in the military, you're separated from the opposite sex. Why? Because we are attracted usually to the opposite sex. And you are usually bunked and paired up with the same sex. So if you are in the LGBTQ community, this is just my opinion, that can be very disturbing because it can be distracting. Now you're distracted. Sexual intercourse can be taking place due to dating the same sex because you're attracted to the same sex. A lot can be taking place when we are supposed to be strictly focused and fixated on military things. So I do agree with him on that. Now, my thoughts on President Donald Trump. I think President Donald Trump is definitely a businessman. A lot of people feel as though that he's running the United States of America like a business. United States of America is a business. Most people may say, what are you talking about? We are not a business. Oh, yes, we are. According to the government, right? According to the city, right? According to the IRS, those entities alone are a business, and they run United States of America like a business. So I expect President Donald Trump to do the same thing. We have money involved. We have different businesses involved all over United States, all over the country. It has to be some kind of form and structure to make all this come about. It's businesses inside of businesses. It has to be an order, a flow, a structure to be. So yes, President Donald Trump is a wealthy man who have ran phenomenal businesses. I think what he is doing for United States of America is great. I understand some of y'all don't like him, and that's completely fine. I don't care to like or like him, but I can say that I discern. I can say from the facts, because what he is saying that he is going to do in United States of America, it makes sense. I believe a lot of presidents that came before President Donald Trump wasn't bold like him. Tiptoe around and just want to keep making peace. There's a time to make peace, and there is a time to reign, and there is a time to shake it up. United States of America need to be shooken up. Is no more peace when there's no peace. Can we all agree that there is no peace? So if there's no peace, we have to fix that. In order to fix that, you have to shake it up. And then when you shake it up, then you can rebuild. Then when you rebuild, you reign. So, with that being said, those are my thoughts on President Donald Trump. I have a clip that I am about to insert for you guys. And I'm going to just end it here after the clip. But before I play this clip, it was all this talks going around that President Donald Trump was going to let P. Diddy out of prison. And I'm like, what? He said that? Because, that people, this is why you can't listen to the media. That's why it's important to do your own research. It's important to listen to the person and not what people say. Listen, I recommend that you do your own research on what I just presented today, and use your discernment. Use your discernment. Not just research and look into it, but use your discernment. Don't just take my word for it. But when it comes to President Donald Trump, a lot of people go off of he say, she say, and they also go off the media. I think people need to go research and hear from his mouth. When I heard that he was letting P. Diddy out of prison, I said, where did he say this at? Everybody going around saying it. I need to hear what he is saying. What he is saying. Did he say it out his mouth? And I found the clip. And I heard him speak out of his mouth. That's not what he said, men and women. That's not what he said. He never said. In fact, he kept putting emphasis on America. I don't think I should quote, but I'm going to play the clip before I leave. America is going in a good direction. Listen, I'm not going to don't quote me there, but it was something on the lines. I'm going to play the video. He kept putting emphasis on America is going in a new direction. And he kept putting emphasis. And to me, that's letting me know he is not thinking about letting no P. Diddy out of prison. The route that man is taking, that's not good for America. Basically, in so many words. He also stated in the clip that I'm about to play is that he haven't really been keeping up with it. He also stated in that clip that they used to be friends. But since he ran for, the politics section and everybody went on the bandwagon of hating him or not hating him, but you should just do your mad research on him. P. Diddy took the route of hating him. And he said that he didn't hear it from his mouth, but it was definitely not so good messages through verbal communication that P. Diddy was not verbal, written communication that P. Diddy was putting out there. He's not interested in releasing him. That's not where he's at with it. So I don't know what's going on. All these talks of him letting P. Diddy out of prison. People are just running with things. They don't hear correctly. They don't listen. A lot of people are not good listeners. That's what I have noticed. A lot of people are not good listeners. They always want to talk, but they never want to listen. The smartest man in the room is the one that's listening. So I'm going to end this. I'm going to place this clip here. Check the clip out, and I'm ending it after that. Leave your comments in the comment section. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on another video.
Back when you hosted The Apprentice, you mentioned once in 2012 that Diddy was a good friend of yours back then. He has since found himself in some very serious legal trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you ever consider pardoning him?
Well, nobody's asked. You had to be the one to ask, Peter, but nobody's asked. But I know people are thinking about it. I know they're thinking about it. I think some people have been very close to asking. First of all, I'd look at what's happening. And I haven't been watching it too closely, although it's certainly getting a lot of coverage. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years. He used to really like me a lot, but I think when I ran for politics, that relationship busted up from what I read. I don't know. He didn't tell me that, but I'd read some little bit nasty statements in the paper all of a sudden. It's different. You become a much different person when you run for politics and you do what's right. I could do other things, and I'm sure he'd like me, and I'm sure other people would like me, but it wouldn't be as good for our country. As we said, our country's doing really well because of what we're doing. So it's not a popularity contest. So, I don't know. I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact on me.